Our current macro will accept the value of 1 for the transition and a value of 5 for the depth. Now, an experienced aluminum extrusion operator will tell you that this is not a reasonable ratio. A safe ratio would be about 4 to 1, meaning a transition of 4 and a rise of depth of 1. This is the basic standard, but not everybody knows the basic standard. And so we're going to add a check for this ratio, and we're going to call it a joggle ratio. And I'm going to erase the description here, and then I'm going to select OK. And this will bring up the check editor window. Now we want in the dictionary, we want to select parameters. But first off, we want to type of check is a warning check. And we're going to type in the message, the depth ratio must be less than 1 to 4. So that's the message that we'll see. And here we're going to create our check. So I want to look for all the lengths, and the member of the length, I actually want the part body joggle profile transition length. Now if you double click on it, it will put that into the text box area. I don't want the offset first, so I'm going to erase this, and then I'm going to double click on the transition length. And it's right above the depth offset length. So I double click on that, and it will input it to the text area. Now I want to divide that by the depth offset. And if that value is greater than or equal to 4, I want the check editor to tell me, hey, this is not a valid ratio. So here we have in the specification tree the joggle ratio check, and I have a green light, meaning it's okay for this current dimension. Now I'm going to run my macro. First I need to get into the part design workbench, and then I need to show my tools toolbar, and I'll run my macro, and I'm going to enter a depth distance of 1, and I'm going to enter a transition distance of 6, and I'm going to enter the distance to the endpoint. Doesn't really matter, and we're going to update that. And notice we have a green light. That is a valid ratio. 1 to 6 is a valid ratio. Now I'm going to switch. I'm going to run the macro again. And I'm going to enter a depth distance of 6 and a transition of 1. And notice I get my message box that we wanted to create. It says the depth ratio must be less than 1 to 4. So there's our warning, and we have a red light, meaning this is not a valid ratio. So a very handy tool in determining whether this extrusion is capable of being made, which it is not.